Hey there, welcome to Quiz Time. I'm your quiz master, Sean, and I've got 100 questions for you about old tourism. Let's see what this is all about. Let's have some fun. Let's stretch our brains a little bit and keep ourselves young, shall we? And let's begin, of course, with question number 1. Which iconic 1920s railway service in the UK was renowned for its luxury and elegance, drawing the rich and famous? The Orient Express, the Flying Scotsman, or the Royal Scotsman? That was the Orient Express. In what year did the historic Route 66, the famous American highway, officially open to travelers for the first time? 1926, 1930, or 1940? And the year was 1926. Which travel guide, first published in 1936, is credited with shaping modern tourism through its detailed recommendations and maps? Fodor's, Lonely Planet, or the Michelin Guide? And that would be the Michelin Guide. What major event in 1975 significantly impacted international tourism, especially for travelers visiting Europe and North America? The oil crisis, the Vietnam War, or the Cold War? And that would be the oil crisis. Which passenger airline, launched in the 1940s, is known for being the first to introduce in-flight meals and entertainment? Pan Am, TWA, or British Airways? And that would be Pan Am. What Grand Hotel in New York City, which opened in 1907, became a symbol of luxury and sophistication for elite travelers? The Ritz-Carlton, the Waldorf Astoria, or the Plaza? And that was the Plaza. Which early 20th century cruise line was famous for its floating palaces and introduced the concept of luxury sea travel? The Cunard Line, Holland America Line, or Royal Caribbean? And that would be the Cunard Line. What landmark became the official symbol of tourism in Las Vegas, lighting up the Strip since its opening in 1959? The Bellagio, the Luxor, or the Stardust? And that would be the Stardust. Which famous train route, completed in 1889, connected Paris and Istanbul, often dubbed the Orient Express of its time? The Simplon Orient Express, the Trans-Siberian Railway, or the GON? And that would be the Simplon Orient Express. Which popular 1960s travel trend involved adventurous young Americans exploring foreign countries on a budget, often hitchhiking? Gap year, backpacking, or couch surfing? And that would be backpacking. Which classic travel film, released in 1953, features a couple's romantic journey across Europe, highlighting post-war tourism? Roman Holiday, The Long Long Trailer, or Summer Holiday? And that would be Roman Holiday. What was the first major theme park in America, which opened in 1955 and became a model for future parks worldwide? Disneyland, Knott's Berry Farm, or Cedar Point? And that would be Disneyland. Which famous bridge, completed in 1937, became a major landmark attracting tourists to San Francisco and beyond? The Brooklyn Bridge, the Golden Gate Bridge, or the Mackinac Bridge? And that would be the Golden Gate Bridge. What luxury cruise liner, launched in 1960, was renowned for its opulent amenities, including a swimming pool and a library? The RMS Queen Elizabeth, the SS United States, or the MS Norway? And that would be the SS United States. Which transportation innovation in the 1950s drastically changed the landscape of domestic travel in the United States? Commercial jets, high-speed trains, or cruise ships? And that would be commercial jets. Which European country was the first to establish a national tourism board in 1901, promoting its scenic beauty to travelers? Switzerland, France, or Italy? And that would be Switzerland. In what year did the iconic American diner first emerge, becoming a staple of roadside travel culture across the nation? 1920, 1930, or 1940? And that was 1930. What travel phenomenon from the 1950s allowed American families to hit the road in search of adventure and new experiences? Staycations, road trips, or all-inclusive resorts? That would be road trips. Which iconic tour bus company was established in the 1970s, offering travelers a chance to explore multiple destinations in Europe? Greyhound, Kon-Tiki, or National Geographic Expeditions? And that would be Kon-Tiki. What famous attraction in Paris, constructed for the 1889 Exposition Universelle, became a symbol of French culture and tourism? Notre Dame Cathedral, Louvre Museum, or the Eiffel Tower? And that would be the Eiffel Tower. Which 1964 landmark event in New York City showcased innovations in travel and tourism, inspiring millions to explore the world? The World's Fair, the Olympic Games, or Fashion Week? And that would be the World's Fair. What legendary train service, operating since the 1880s, is often associated with the glamour of travel through the American West? The Blue Train, the Silver Meteor, or the Sunset Limited? That would be the Sunset Limited. Which cruise line, founded in 1968, is known for its innovative ships and family-friendly experiences, revolutionizing sea travel? Carnival Cruise Line, Princess Cruises, or the Holland America Line? And that would be Carnival Cruise Line. What is the name of the famous 1920s travel book series that inspired many American tourists to explore Europe's hidden gems? The Blue Guides, Frommer's Travel Guides, or Let's Go? And that would be the Blue Guides. Which major international airport, originally a military airfield during World War II, opened to civilian traffic in 1947? JFK Airport, LAX, or Heathrow? And that would be JFK Airport. What term was coined in the 1950s to describe the practice of traveling to unique locations for personal and spiritual growth? Wellness tourism, experiential travel, or ecotourism? And that would be wellness tourism. What was the first American city to establish a modern convention center designed to host large gatherings and trade shows? Chicago, Las Vegas, or New York? And that would be Chicago. Which destination, known for its natural beauty and wellness retreats, became a popular travel spot for the affluent in the 1970s? Aspen, Sedona, or Palm Springs? And that would be Palm Springs. What famous car brand introduced the concept of the road trip in the 1950s with its marketing campaigns focused on freedom? Ford, Chevrolet, or Volkswagen? And that was Chevrolet. Which major travel agency, founded in the early 20th century, was one of the first to offer package tours to Europe? Thomas Cook, TUI, or Expedia? And that was Thomas Cook. Which ocean cruise destination emerged in the late 1960s as a popular getaway for American tourists seeking tropical escapes? The Caribbean, the Bahamas, or Hawaii? And that would be the Caribbean. In what year did the United Nations designate the first International Tourism Day to promote awareness of the importance of tourism? 1980, 1990, or 2000? And that would be 1990. Which renowned train company was famous for its luxurious carriages and dining experience across the British Isles in the 1920s? British Railways, Orient Express, or the Great Western Railway? And that would be the Great Western Railway. What was the most popular mode of transportation for tourists traveling through Europe during the late 19th century? Horse-drawn carriages, steamships, or trains? And that would be trains. Which city hosted the 1962 World's Fair, showcasing innovative technologies and attracting tourists from around the globe? Seattle, Chicago, or San Francisco? And that would be Seattle. Which travel magazine, launched in 1937, is famous for its vibrant photography and articles on luxury destinations worldwide? Travel and Leisure, Conde Nast Traveler, or the National Geographic Traveler? And that would be the Conde Nast Traveler. What famous American road became known as the Mother Road during the Great Depression, symbolizing hope and adventure? Route 66, the Pacific Coast Highway, or U.S. Route 1? That would be Route 66. Get your kicks. Anyway, which major airline became the first to introduce non-stop flights between Europe and the United States in the 1950s? Transworld Airlines, British Airways, or Pan American Airways? And that would be Pan American Airways. What was the primary purpose of the 1956 Federal Aid Highway Act, which transformed American travel and tourism? To improve rail transport, to establish national parks, or to build the interstate highway system? And that was to build the interstate highway system. Which iconic destination in Egypt, completed around 2560 BC, still attracts millions of tourists each year? The Temple of Karnak, the Valley of Kings, or the Great Pyramid of Giza? That would be the Great Pyramid of Giza. Which television show, first aired in 1969, highlighted exotic travel destinations and helped to popularize global tourism among Americans? The Amazing Race, The Wide World of Sports, or Here's Lucy? Wide World of Sports. Which historic route became famous in the 1950s as the ultimate destination for travelers seeking scenic drives through America? The Blue Ridge Parkway, the Pacific Coast Highway, or Route 66? That was the Pacific Coast Highway. What was the world's first organized group tour, organized by Thomas Cook in the mid-19th century, known for its affordability? The Grand Tour, Cook's Tours, or European Escapades? And that would be Cook's Tours. What American national park, established in 1872, became a global park model and popular tourist destination for nature lovers? Yellowstone National Park, Yosemite National Park, or Grand Canyon National Park? And that would be Yellowstone National Park. What famous island destination in the Caribbean became synonymous with luxury vacations for American tourists in the 1980s? Barbados, St. Bart's, or Bermuda? And that would be Bermuda. Which 1957 film featured a romantic story set against the backdrop of travel, showcasing the allure of European destinations? An American in Paris, Roman Holiday, or The Parent Trap? That would be An American in Paris. What early 20th century travel trend involved affluent families embarking on extended trips across the globe on luxury ocean liners? Grand tours, world tours, or exploratory travel? That would be grand tours. Which now defunct airline was once known for its colorful advertising campaigns featuring the tagline, "The Friendly Skies"? TWA, Eastern Airlines, or Continental Airlines? And that would be Eastern Airlines. Which famous structure, completed in 1931, became a symbol of New York City and a must-visit destination for tourists? The Empire State Building, the Chrysler Building, or One World Trade Center? And that would be the Empire State Building. What early travel destination in the Caribbean was a playground for celebrities during the 1950s and 1960s, attracting paparazzi? Nassau, the Bahamas, Aruba, or Jamaica? And that would be Nassau, the Bahamas. What was the name of the first commercial cruise line to offer themed cruises, such as jazz or gourmet food experiences? Holland America Line, Norwegian Cruise Line, or the Cunard Line? And that would be the Cunard Line. Which city became the first in America to introduce a tourist tax in 1967, aiming to improve infrastructure for visitors? New York City, San Francisco, or Las Vegas? That would be San Francisco. What significant 1970s environmental movement began to reshape travel, encouraging more eco-friendly tourism practices worldwide? Green travel, sustainable tourism, or eco-conscious travel? And that would be sustainable tourism. Which 1956 film featured a group of Americans embarking on a road trip across Europe, highlighting cultural experiences along the way? Gidget Goes to Rome, The Great Race, or Europe's Most Wanted? Gidget Goes to Rome. What was the first airline to offer complimentary meals on domestic flights, setting a precedent for in-flight dining experiences? United Airlines, Delta Airlines, or American Airlines? And that would be United Airlines. Which notable 1960s travel agency was known for its all-inclusive vacation packages that catered to American families seeking adventure? Club Med, Thomas Cook, or Intrepid Travel? And that would be Club Med. Which travel trend of the 1970s encouraged young adults to explore new destinations on a budget while staying with locals? Couchsurfing, youth hosteling, or hitchhiking? And that was youth hosteling. What famous destination in Switzerland is renowned for its stunning airplane scenery and alpine scenery and has attracted tourists since the 19th century? Interlaken, Zermatt, or Lucerne? And that would be Zermatt. Which hotel chain founded in 1957, became famous for its affordable accommodations and catered to budget-conscious travelers? Holiday Inn, Marriott, or Best Western? And that would be Holiday Inn. Which classic 1950s TV show featured a family traveling across America in a vintage station wagon, highlighting roadside attractions? Route 66, Leave It to Beaver, or The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet? And that would be The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet. Which 1970s television show featured a group of friends embarking on adventures across the globe, promoting travel as a lifestyle? The Love Boat. Was it The A-Team? Or was it Fantasy Island? And that would be The Love Boat. What was the primary purpose of the early 20th century grand tour undertaken by wealthy Americans exploring Europe? Education and culture, business opportunities, or political diplomacy? The primary purpose was education and culture. Which world-renowned travel agency, founded in the early 1900s, became synonymous with luxury vacations for the elite? Abercrombie & Kent, Virtuoso, or Talk? And that would be Abercrombie & Kent. What landmark agreement signed in 1965 greatly simplified international travel and encouraged an increase in global tourism? The Schengen Agreement, Open Skies Agreement, or the Treaty of Versailles? And that was the Open Skies Agreement. Which iconic travel guidebook series, launched in 1957, became a go-to for travelers seeking reliable, budget-friendly advice? Fodor's, Lonely Planet, or Frommer's? And that would be Frommer's. Which Mediterranean island became a sought-after travel destination in the 1960s for its beaches and vibrant nightlife? Sardinia, Ibiza, or Sicily? Ibiza. What was the first hotel chain name to introduce electric key cards for room entry, revolutionizing guest security? Hilton, Sheraton, or Marriott? Hilton. Which famous river cruise destination became increasingly popular with retirees in the 1980s, offering scenic views of Europe? The Danube River, the Rhine River, or the Seine River? And that would be the Danube River. What was the name of the 1960s travel trend where families packed up station wagons and embarked on road trips to national parks? Car camping, scenic overlanding, or auto touring? And that trend was auto touring. Which famous French travel destination became a favorite for artists and writers in the early 20th century, inspiring creativity? Provence, Loire Valley, or the French Riviera? And that answer would be the French Riviera. What early travel trend saw wealthy Europeans embarking on long voyages to the Middle East to explore ancient cultures and sites? Oriental tours, the Levantine journeys, or the Grand Tours of the East? Grand Tours of the East. Which famous hotel, built in 1888, was one of the first to offer luxury accommodations on the coast of California, attracting celebrities and royalty? The Del Coronado, the Ritz-Carlton, or the Fairmont? And that would be the Del Coronado. What was the name of the 19th century trend where travelers visited European spas for health treatments and relaxation? Wellness pilgrimages, spa cures, or hydrotherapy journeys? And that would be spa cures. Which U.S. state became a top tourist destination in the 1950s due to its pristine beaches and newly built resorts, including Waikiki Beach, California, Hawaii, or Florida? And that would be Hawaii. What is the name of the travel trend to Swiss mountain villages for fresh air and views? The Alpine Escape, the Swiss Ascent, or the Mountain Health Retreat? And that would be the Alpine Escape. Which famous 1960s airliner became synonymous with international jet setting and glamorous air travel? Boeing 747, Concorde, or Lockheed TriStar? And that would be Concorde. In the 1950s, which U.S. city's futuristic skyline became a must-see destination for tourists exploring urban landscapes and skyscrapers? New York City, Chicago, or Los Angeles? And that would be New York City. What travel trend in the 1970s saw Americans increasingly exploring national parks and wilderness areas in motorhomes? RV camping, backcountry touring, or van life? And that would be RV camping. Which African country became a popular safari destination in the 1950s for its vast wildlife reserves and luxurious lodges? Kenya, South Africa, or Tanzania? Kenya. Which famous American riverboat cruises, popular in the mid-20th century, allowed travelers to explore historic southern towns in luxury? Mississippi River Cruises, Hudson River Tours, or Ohio River Journeys? And that would be Mississippi River Cruises. What iconic 1970s overland travel route connected Europe to India and was favored by backpackers and adventure travelers? The Hippie Trail, the Silk Road, or the Spice Route? And that would be the Hippie Trail. Which European city, famous for its canals and art museums, became a top travel destination for cultural tourism in the 20th century? Amsterdam, Venice, or Prague? And that would be Amsterdam. What was the name of the first American roadside motel, established in 1925, that revolutionized road travel accommodations? The Milestone Motel, Motel 6, or the Highway Inn? And that would be the Milestone Motel. Which Middle Eastern city became a popular stop for travelers on the overland route to India, known for its bazaars and historical sites? Istanbul, Damascus, or Cairo? And that would be Damascus. What 19th century travel trend saw wealthy Americans and Europeans embarking on extended sea voyages to the Caribbean for leisure? Tropical escapes, island voyages, or Grand Caribbean cruises? And that would be Grand Caribbean cruises. What was the name of the early 20th century travel trend where aristocrats explored Egypt's ancient tombs and pyramids, often guided by local experts? Nile River expeditions, Egyptology tours, or desert caravans? And that would be Egyptology tours. Which island in the Indian Ocean became a popular luxury travel destination in the 1970s for its pristine beaches and private resorts? Maldives, Mauritius, or Seychelles? And that would be Seychelles. What mid-20th century air route allowed travelers to explore the South Pacific's exotic islands? The Polynesian Circuit, the island hopper route, or the Pacific archipelago journey? And that would be the island hopper route. What was the post-World War II trend where American families road tripped across Europe to visit historical sites and experience new cultures? European vacationing, the American abroad tour, or continental exploration? And that would be European vacationing. Which European capital, known for its architecture and history, became a favorite travel destination for literary figures and artists in the 1920s? Vienna, Paris, or Berlin? And that would be Paris. What travel trend, popular in the 1960s, saw young adventurers exploring the world by hitchhiking across countries and continents? Backpacking journeys, the Hitchhiker's Odyssey, or nomad exploration? And that would be the Hitchhiker's Odyssey. What early 20th century trend involved wealthy Europeans traveling by steamship to tropical destinations for health reasons and luxury vacations? The Tropic Cure, the steamship excursion, or the colonial cruise? And that would be the colonial cruise. Which international route became known as the Road of Kings, favored by wealthy travelers exploring ancient cities in Persia and Central Asia? The Silk Road, the Spice Route, or the Persian Trail? And that would be the Silk Road. Which iconic British seaside resort, known for its piers and amusement arcades, became a popular vacation spot for families in the mid-20th century? Brighton, Blackpool, or Bournemouth? And that would be Blackpool. Which South American country became a hotspot for adventure travelers in the 1960s due to its Amazon rainforest treks? Brazil, Peru, or Colombia? And that would be Brazil. What famous railway, built in the early 20th century, connected Nairobi to the Kenyan coast and became popular among safari goers? The Kenyan Express, the Mombasa Line, or the Lunatic Line? And that would be the Lunatic Line. What 1960s travel trend saw Europeans flocking to the Greek islands for sunshine and rustic seaside accommodations? The Island Odyssey, the Mediterranean Escapes, or Greek island hopping? That would be Greek island hopping. Which North African city became popular in the 1950s for travelers seeking vibrant markets and historic medinas? Marrakech, Cairo, or Tunis? And that would be Marrakech. What European river cruise, launched in the 1970s, became renowned for offering views of medieval castles and vineyards? Danube Delights, Rhine River Cruise, or Seine Splendor? And that would be Rhine River Cruise. In the 20th century, which European country with fjords and dramatic landscapes became popular for scenic railway journeys? Norway, Switzerland, or Sweden? And that would be Norway. And that was question number 100. Thanks for joining me. Drop your score in the comments, please, and don't forget to subscribe, like, ring the notification bell so you never miss quiz time when it comes out. And this comes out quite often, so you don't want to miss it. All right, bye-bye. We'll catch you next time.